for my Flexi rods, I have 2 different sizes. They say that they come in a pack of 20, 10 small ones, and then 10 of the jumbo, like bigger ones. So what I'm thinking of doing is for the front of my hair, like these parts and stuff, I think I'm gonna go with the tighter, like the smaller ones. And then for the bigger ones, I think I'm gonna do more towards the back and like the crown area and things like that. So I think that's how we're going to do it. Hopefully these 20 will be enough for my hair. I washed my hair and everything. It's now very damp and dry. It has absolutely no product on it. So it looks very crazy right now. Yeah, my hair is also going through it. So, yeah. Me veo loca, la ceja. Mía, me la tengo que hacer. Don't worry though. Today is self-care day.
Okay, hi, it's me, Future Katrina, editing this video, watching it with you guys. I'm just gonna hop on here every now and then just to explain to you guys what I was doing, because in the video I was just honestly rambling. So I started off by just sectioning off my hair and just spritzing it with water. And then the products that I used to achieve this look, which I think worked nicely, was the Shea Moisture Curl and Style Milk and a little bit of the Miss Jessie's Coily Custard.
I'm set prepped, ready like a to go. Taking all those letters on my clothes. Won't forget the day I chose me for saving. Don't cry when I pass you by.
Here's to the first attempt, and it was on camera, so I was a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. So starting off, I twirled my ends onto the rod and make sure that my ends were locked in place. This is one thing, if you don't get anything from this video, at least remember this. Make sure your ends are twirled nicely in place and nice and locked so you can get that nice curl form all the way through the ends. So after that, I just kept like twirling my hair onto the rod with no like particular technique. I was just going with the flow. But then when I locked the rod, I noticed that it wasn't locked like properly and my roots were still very loose. So I decided to do a few off camera, and then I'll let you guys know what worked.
Okay, so it has been about 30 minutes and this is what I have gotten done. So I have 2 big like purple ones here, and then I put this blue one here. I just put this blue one here just because the way I parted it, it just wasn't like enough hair for a jumbo one. So I'm just going to keep doing that around my hair, just playing around with it and hoping for the best. So let's see how this goes.
Decline, don't cry. Do you like the way the sun shines off my face when you're staring me down? Do you stay awake, wondering what to say? Is it too late now? Isn't it funny turning tables?
As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I started by twirling my ends and making sure that my ends were tucked away very well and nicely. You want to make sure that your ends are tucked away nicely and secured onto the flexi rod, because this is important. You want to make sure that your curl is cohesive and that it starts nicely from root to end, right? You don't want it to get frizzy or anything. So make sure that your ends are nicely tucked away. And I feel like once the ends are nicely tucked away, you're able to glide your hair through the flexi rod nicely and create the curl that you like.
You and yourself, it must be kind of lonely. You and yourself, I hope you.
Lastly, in this case, size does matter. And here's why. The bigger the flexi rod, the looser the curl is, the bouncier, and you just have like a more like loose curl look. It'll look like more like wavy, but still nice and pretty. And then the smaller the flexi rod, the tighter and coily the curls will look, and it'll be more defined, which for me, I think using a combination of like big and small offsets itself so well, because I had nice bouncy flowy curls, but then I also had some that were nicely defined and twirl, which I love as well. Another thing too, in order to get the roots nice and tight so you can lock the flexi rod securely onto your hair, make sure that when you're curling your hair onto the flexi rod that you are pulling tightly. I mean, you don't want to yank your hair or anything, but just make sure that it's tight enough for you to grip your hair around the flexi rod and be able to lock it in place.
Do you like the way the sun shines off my face when you stare at me?
After 2 hours, I am officially done, and I felt so relieved at this point. So for me, I just let them dry overnight, air dry, so probably like 14-16 hours. And honestly, sleeping with these, I 10 out of 10 do not recommend. They were so uncomfortable, but hey, like they say, beauty is pain, right? So to remove these, I am going to use my big old jug of coconut oil that my mother-in-law gifted to me, and we are going to unravel the flexi rod.
Do you like the way the sun shines off?
Now when you unravel, you want to make sure that you do this part slow, and then you also unravel in the direction that the curl is going. This way you prevent frizz and you don't disturb the curl pattern.
Is it too late now? You and yourself, it must be kind of lonely. You and yourself, I hope you're warm and cozy.
And right here, I was so hyped. I was like, ooh! But you see what I mean? With the jumbo flexi rod, you get this type of curl look. And then watch when I take off the blue one, which is a much skinnier flexi rod, you're going to see the curl pattern is going to be a little bit different.
Wondering what to say. Is it too late now? Too late now. Too late now. Is it too late now? Too late now. Is it too late now? Too late now. Is it too late now?
Yes, I feel so relieved. My scalp feels so good, and I'm ready to finish this style off already. So now I'm going to just separate the curls. Again, make sure you use an oil so you don't cause any frizz. And then I'm going to take my pick and shape up my hair, give it some volume.
Maybe I'm just scared of my memories in a way.
Probably started like two. Just don't really get the shit. Yeah. Yeah. Really, I'm just here for a remedy in a way. Really, I'm just scared of my memories in a way. Really, I just don't really get the shit anyways. Maybe I'm just really a memory anyways. Indifferent now, I'm in my feelings, dog. Sick, lost cause, really.
Here's a side-by-side comparison so you can see how your hair looks before separating and after. So definitely separate because it does give your hair life.
Got nothing but a tolerant dream. Stressed out about a lot of different things. Gotta know if you're really here for me, yeah, yeah. Talk to me, I just overthink. Got nothing but a tolerant dream. Stressed out about a lot of different things. I gotta know, I gotta know. Toss and turn, what a cool game. Sleep with one eye open. Everybody here is trying to get what I'm after. Tiptoeing over snakes on my ladder. Swallow it with a bitter pill, but I ain't sour. Bottle it.
Wow, it looks so good. And I did that. And it was my first time. So if I could do this, you could definitely do this. So girl, go get you some flexi rods. Try this hairstyle out because I will definitely be doing this hairstyle again. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Got nothing but a tolerant dream. Stressed out about a lot of different things.